Introducing one of the most powerful ways to study English. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, English learners everywhere. At the end of this video, you will have learnt one of the most powerful tools to learn vocabulary and grammar. Ever felt like you're playing a frustrating game of memory with vocabulary words, only to lose every round? Or that grammar rules are written in some ancient, mystical language? Well, today, we're not just flipping the page, we're rewriting the rulebook. Welcome to Learning English with Sentences, the most effective way to improve vocabulary and understanding. Get ready to transform how you learn, laugh, and master English. I will leave you with Caroline to go deep and make the most of these ideas.
Let's be honest, who hasn't been there? Staring at an endless list of words, feeling your brain slowly turn to linguistic mush. You try to cram them in, repeat them a few times, and then, poof. They are gone, faster than free pizza at a party. It's what I call the lonely word syndrome. These words are like lost puppies without a home, without context, without a story. And grammar. Oh, grammar. It often feels like some mythical beast, doesn't it? But what if we gave those lonely words a whole squad? A context, a situation, a purpose. Enter sentences, the unsung superheroes of language learning. They don't just give words a place, they give them a story, a personality, and a reason to stick around in your brain. Think of them as the ultimate language matchmakers, words with friends. Because context is king, or queen in our case. And sentences. They are grammar's secret decoder ring, making everything clear. When you learn a word in isolation, it's like meeting someone for 5 seconds and trying to remember their name a year later. But when you meet them in a sentence, it's like going on an adventure together. You see how they behave, who they hang out with, and what they do. This contextual learning is pure memory magic. It's about truly understanding a word's meaning and nuance, not just its dictionary definition. How words feel in different situations, that's the real key to remembering them far better. Here's a super practical and slightly silly tip for your daily dose of English. Play the word in the wild game. Each day, pick a few new words, just 3 to 5. Then, the challenge is to create the most outlandish, most ridiculous sentences you can with them. The crazier, the better. For instance, if your word is ephemeral, don't just say flowers are ephemeral. Say, the politician's promise was as ephemeral as a snowflake in a sauna, melting before it even hit the ground. And here's the kicker. Say them out loud. You might get some strange looks, but your brain will absolutely thank you. Let me tell you a quick story about Maria, a former student. She'd enthusiastically learned the word blissful, meaning extremely happy. She was so proud of her new word. In a presentation about her morning routine, she confidently declared, "I had a blissful commute this morning, stuck in traffic for 2 hours." The room went silent. You could almost hear a pin drop. Why? Because blissful in the context of a 2-hour traffic jam is, well, not blissful at all. This anecdote perfectly illustrates that context is absolutely key. Sentences teach you not just what a word means, but how it feels and where it fits. Now, let's tackle grammar. For many, it's the monster under the bed of English learning. But when you learn with sentences, grammar stops being a list of abstract rules and becomes a natural blueprint. You start to see how the subject, verb, and object fit together, how tenses change the story, and how prepositions create connections. You'll discover how they work in real-life examples. You'll intuitively grasp concepts like subjects, verbs, and clauses. No more abstract, scary rules. It's like building with Legos. You don't just read the instructions, you build something and see how it works. Put on your detective hat. The next time you're reading a book, watching a movie, or listening to a song in English, pick a sentence. Any sentence. And then become a grammar detective. Identify the subject, the verb, the object. Ask yourself, why is this word here? What happens if I move it? How does it change the meaning? You'll be amazed at how quickly you start to internalize grammar rules, not by memorizing them, but by observing them in their natural habitat. Alright, time for some academic street cred. This isn't just my opinion. Universities have been studying this for years. A study by Webb in 2005 showed that students who were actively engaged in making their own sentences with new words learned those words far more effectively than those who just wrote memorized. The key takeaway here is that active engagement with context is absolutely crucial for retention. Another gem from the research world, from Keshavas and Estarji in 2006. Their findings highlighted how writing composition, particularly creating sentences, significantly boosted vocabulary acquisition. Why? Because it forces your brain to engage on a deeper level. You're not just passively receiving information, you're actively constructing meaning through meaningful context. The key takeaway is simple: the brain works harder and therefore remembers better. And a more recent study by Zhong in 2019 reiterated the incredible power of example sentences in vocabulary learning. The best part? It showed that when learners create their own example sentences, the learning effect is even stronger. So, it's not enough to just see a sentence. The act of producing your own, even if it's a bit quirky, really seals the deal in your memory. Don't just read, create your own. I remember a student who was so confused by the phrasal verb break down. She knew break and down, but breakdown had so many meanings. Her car broke down, she broke down crying, they broke down a door, they broke down the problem into smaller parts. For weeks, it was just a mess. Then, one day, she was watching a movie and heard it used in a conversation about overcoming a challenge. And suddenly, she shouted, "Aha!" It means to overcome or simplify. It was that cumulative exposure through different sentences that finally made it click. That's the power of context leading to an aha moment. Learning with sentences isn't just about knowing more words. It's about speaking like a real human, not a phrasebook robot. When you learn chunks of language, you naturally pick up on common sentence patterns. This trains your brain to think in English, rather than constantly translating from your native language. Plus, by hearing and repeating full sentences, your pronunciation and intonation will improve dramatically, making you sound more natural and confident. This is a super powerful technique called shadowing. Find a podcast, a YouTube video, or even a scene from your favorite English movie. Listen to a sentence, pause it, and then repeat it exactly as you heard it. Try to mimic the speaker's rhythm, speed, and intonation. It feels a bit like being an echo, but it's incredibly effective for building muscle memory in your mouth and brain for natural English speech. Remember, don't just listen, speak. This is one of my favorite practical tips. Start a sentence journal, or what I like to call your personal sentence scrapbook. Keep a small notebook or a digital file. Whenever you hear a cool phrase, a funny idiom, or a useful grammatical structure, write it down. Underline the new words or phrases. You're creating your own personal, curated dictionary of useful English. And trust me, reviewing these real-life sentences regularly is far more effective and enjoyable than flipping through a dry vocabulary list. The world is truly your English classroom. Don't limit yourself to textbooks. Immerse yourself in real English. Watch movies and TV shows start with subtitles in your native language, then switch to English subtitles, and eventually brave it without. Listen to music, dissect the lyrics. Find podcasts and audiobooks about topics you love. And yes, even talk to yourself in English. The more exposure to authentic sentences, the better. So, you've learned why learning with sentences is so powerful. Now, how do you put it into practice, quickly and easily? I'm thrilled to introduce your English Toolbox, your go-to YouTube channel. We are laser-focused on teaching you English effectively through sentences and easy-to-follow podcasts. It's time to start building those skills. What treasures await inside your English Toolbox? We don't just give you words, we give you entire scenarios. Our Sentence Spotlight series offers deep dives into common and tricky sentences. Our podcast power episodes are perfect for improving your listening skills, packed with new vocabulary in context. We provide real-life examples, showing you how native speakers actually use words. And yes, we have interactive exercises for pronunciation, vocabulary, and even some multilingual translations to help you put your new knowledge to the test. So, what are you waiting for? If you're serious about taking your English to the next level, if you're tired of the lonely word syndrome, then head over to YouTube, search for your English Toolbox, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell so you're always in the loop. Share it with your friends who are also learning, and let's build a community of confident, sentence-savvy English learners. Start your sentence-based learning journey today.
Thank you all so much for your attention and engagement today. Remember, the journey of learning English is a continuous adventure. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep growing. Embrace the power of sentences, make them learning superpower, and I genuinely hope to see you all over on your English Toolbox. Let us make English learning effective, enjoyable, and maybe just a little bit quirky. See you soon. See you there at the English Toolbox, and thank you for listening. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos to come.